With each passing day, the bond between Heather Rose and the children grew stronger, their laughter and love filling the once empty spaces in her heart. And as Mr. Burns the billionaire showered her with affection and attention, Heather Rose found herself falling deeper and deeper in love with him. At the same time, things were beginning to get complicated. Heather Rose fell pregnant. That definitely was not part of the arrangement with Amber Rose. The phone call that the real Mrs. Burns wanted to come and switch back places made the already complicated situation worse. And so, as the day of the switch drew near, Heather Rose found herself faced with conflicting emotions, whether to tell the truth or continue to lie. On the last day before the switch, Heather Rose packed her belongings with a heavy heart, her mind filled with a tumult of emotions. As she looked around the home she had come to love, she couldn't help but feel a sense of loss and longing, a yearning for the life she had built with this family. Mr. Burns sensed something was wrong, but thought maybe she is having mood swings due to the pregnancy. The following day, after Mr. Burns had gone to work and the kids had gone to school, Heather Rose disappeared. Amber Rose came back into the mansion. When her husband came back with the kids, Amber Rose began shouting at the kids, and she didn't even greet her husband. No warm kiss, hug, and help with laptop bag. The kids knew immediately that this person was not the same. They started grabbing her dress and asking her what she did to their mom. Amber Rose got so mad and beat up the two kids with a ruler. That's when the father also realized the kids were right. This was not the same woman. Heather Rose would never hurt the kids. He looked into Amber Rose's eyes, as if to search for answers, and he could not see the warmth that used to fill those eyes. Mr. Burns grabbed a rope and tied Amber Rose to a chair. He told her he would beat her up if she did not tell him where his wife was. "But I am your wife," Amber Rose said. "My real wife," he said angrily. When Mr. Burns threatened to call the police, that is when Amber Rose told him everything. Mr. Burns was shocked by Amber Rose's story. It felt like he was in a reality drama show. He was mad that Heather Rose had deceived her. He was heartbroken because he could not tell how much of Heather's actions were real and how much were fake. And now, as he stood face to face with the woman who had deceived him, Mr. Burns felt a deep and profound sense of loss, a longing for the life he had thought was his, but was never truly meant to be. Mr. Burns dashed upstairs, put all of Amber Rose's clothes in 2 suitcases, and threw them outside the house. He dragged Amber Rose outside and gave her $100 to go back to her boyfriend. With a sense of determination, Mr. Burns set out to find the woman who had captured his heart, the woman who had become his world, the woman he knew he could not live without. Mr. Burns and the kids found Heather Rose at the hospital, packing her mother's stuff, getting ready to leave the hospital. And then, as Mr. burst into the room, his eyes met hers, and in that moment, everything else faded away. The pain, the betrayal, the uncertainty. All that mattered was the love that burned bright and true between them. Heather Rose burst into tears at the sight of him, her heart overflowing with emotion as she threw herself into his arms, her words of apology tumbling out in a rush of emotion. "I'm so sorry," she cried, her voice choked with tears. "I never meant to hurt you. I genuinely loved you." And in that moment, as he held her close, Mr. Burns knew that true love had prevailed, that no matter the obstacles they faced, they would overcome them together. They got married and were blessed with a beautiful baby girl.